Tried a couple different frames here, and I think this is the best configuration. I want to get the head tube angle here, make sure that I get the same one on the other. This is what it could look like, something like this with a 24-inch front wheel with a big rack here. And I'm wondering if a 20-inch front wheel might be better. With a 20-inch wheel I can get it quite a bit lower and maybe make a little bigger rack in here. First step here is to extend the head tube there by 30 centimeters. So I got my brand new, and I need to weld this in place. Just tacked it there, but it looks pretty straight. Let's see. Next step is we have to take this fork and modify it. Obviously extend it, cut it off, make it so it'll spin there. And I guess this is a pretty simple calculation. Cut this in half and add the same amount that I added on the head tube. Now I'm going to weld that. Far from perfect, but that'll... Alright, back to the drawing board here per se. Now I've got to figure out I think the front bracket, front headset will go like that. I'm going to put a thing in between here. Here I am dealing with this front boom thing. Making a hole, and there's more than one way to skin a cat when you don't have a hole saw. Let's see if that works. And then just punch it out like a tin can. So we've got a little hole in the main boom, and this little head tube should slide right in. I've cleaned these up a little bit, and I'm going to weld this in place just to make sure that it's straight on this way. I've picked up a fork, so now I got to put a little fish mouth cut in the front of this thing, or the back of this thing. I do the fish mouth cuts like that, take out a little triangle and then grind it to the right. Just trying to get it sort of lined up before I weld. I think it looks pretty cool like this. I'm going to weld here, try to get that as straight as possible. Now I'm trying to make sure that everything's lined up properly as I tack weld it in place. I think this is kind of a key step. Now I need to find some tubes that will not be too heavy, that will work and go in there. Putting this on, in just in case you're wondering, yes, this is a very strange way to do it, but I made nice fish mouth cuts at each end. I made it too short, so I have to cut in the middle and make it longer. I think this other one looked kind of cool, paralleling the front bar, connecting down like this. So I got the angle of that right there, and I'll use my handy dandy saw. This thing is sure nice. I feel like I'm cheating. Well, that's the basic frame done. I just need to finish the welds and then take care of the steering and the rack. We should be in business. Here I'm cutting the legs off the fork to get ready to put these things as the turning points. Dad's cutting the steel for the metal for the rack. So this is going to get mounted like that somehow. I just got to figure out what angle to, or what height to put it on the fork. Something like this. Just need to clean it up and put it on. Alright, that one there is done. Now I need to do a similar thing here on the bottom of this one. I need the same exact distance from the center to the outer as the center to the outer on this one. Dad's lining up the rack here. Dad's lining up the rack here. I did a little bit of late night welding last night and finished the rack here. Put in a couple supports here and then one here. Cleaned up these, and now we're just going to put some stuff together and figure out the top rail for the rack and the kickstand, the jack. Now we're figuring out the turning hardware here, and we'll put a bolt above both these and a connecting rod. These will be the tie rod ends, making the top rack that will go on top of this here, and also working on the tie rod here. Alright, that looks pretty good. Turn the handlebars and this should move in unison. Now to hold this rack on, we're making some little supports here, sleeves or something, and I'll weld those on in place now. Well, I put some wheels and stuff on it to see how it rides, and it's nice. So we just need to finish these sleeve things, and then I'm going to put some sort of jack kickstand here so it'll stand up. This will be the support, the pivot for the kickstand. I drilled a few holes there for oil and just cleaning it up, and then we'll cut some off the ends. Here's half of the kickstand thing, and then we're going to slide this inside there like this, so this will swivel, and these will be the stops to keep it from going from side to side. I'll weld those two solid. Now we're welding this in place like that, and then we're going to put some stop guides here. This thing will make it stop right there. Alright, this thing, power ran out, but I think we got most of the welding, just some grinding left to do. All cleaned up here, time to paint. I'm going to prime the front there, and then we'll probably paint it yellow. Now we're just putting a second coat of paint on these various pieces in the bike. Mounted the plate there in front and the removable rack here. Now I'm just waiting for some grease for the headsets to put the forks on.
Very nice.
Yeah, no, antibak nunga. Yeah.
Oh yeah, one fit through the gate.